Hello, I would like to tell you something, and I don't have any script or anything prepared. I just felt like turning on the camera and speaking from my heart. Uh, I also apologize if at certain moments, if I don't make any sense, and things like that. I'm not really used to talking to a camera, pretty much never, you could say. And today is the 22nd of December. It's going to be Christmas, and I felt like saying some things and hoping that it reaches as much people as it can. Even if I'm not an influencer. I'm not, I don't have much influence on how many people it reaches, and you get the idea. But I still felt like it's the right thing to do. I still felt like I'm not gonna regret sharing some things that I feel in my heart. And I just want to spread some truth. I just want to give you a message of love, I guess. And I don't know where to start. So, you know, this year we've gone through a lot as a humanity. And all I pretty much want to say is let's be human. Let's be adults. We teach our children, the young generations, how we should act, how we should live. We are teaching them discipline. We are acting like adults in front of them. But when we look at ourselves, how we live our daily lives, we're not really the adults that we are pretending to be. And we generally have tough time to act as we should. We all pretty much know how to live, mostly. That we should be above things, that we should be, as we teach the children, we should be kind to each other, we should be healthy, we should stay positive, and such things. Yet we struggle really hard to be like that. And of course, the world we live in, the society we collectively made, and the times we live in are very hard to upkeep that adultness. And yet we must fight. We must fight for it and do our best to live by it. And in my opinion, the way we create the environment, then that impacts how we live, how we think, how we feel. And it's pretty basic stuff, but we don't still do it. We, the way we live this last year and sort of the previous, and generally speaking, we live by the means of giving up. We stopped caring about ourselves, about others, about things, and maybe it's not necessarily like not caring, but it's just feeling dead inside. And we know in ourselves that it's not the right thing to do and that we don't want to live like this. But we are still here. We are living. We, as people, have children, which to me, somewhere deep inside, it means that we have hope because, you know, if you have children, I would say to some degree it means that you have hope that the world that the child will grow up in, that it will be worthwhile for the child to grow up in. Even if we act how we act on the outside, the inside is very different. And there are like more sides to it, generally speaking. We sort of I mean, there are more ways to look at it, and but there's some core idea running through. And I don't want to make this confusing or anything. So don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. And I know I just redirected and I just started talking about something else. I'm very aware of it. But I'm just doing my best. I'm just trying to be honest, share love, and I just want to tell you, don't give up. No matter how cliche it might sound or empty, it's just we tend to we tend to be the harshest, the toughest, the hardest on ourselves. When we make a mistake or something bad happens from our actions, we multiply this mistake, we make it seem much bigger than it is in our minds. And as a result of that, we, get depressed, feel like we are worthless, we feel like we are giving up, and we definitely should not. And the ways of the life we made as a society and everything is just it's making us inclined to feel that way and to make ourselves feel worthless and stuff. But we need to see the bigger picture. We need to see that we all have been making mistakes and will be making mistakes. And that's just a natural thing for human beings to do. It's inevitable, but what isn't inevitable is that we can what can be changed is how we react to those mistakes, how we get up from the fall, and we have the freedom to choose our ways of reacting to our mistakes, to our falls. So we will always fall, but we choose to get up or not. And we should always strive to get up. We should always fight and not give up on ourselves. Because if we do, then we also give up on the world. And I know from how I'm saying it that it might not sound really logical, but I can feel that somewhere deep inside of you that you know that is the truth. As I said earlier, the environment we live in impacts how we live. And if we give up on ourselves, other people will, other people can, generally speaking, they can sort of feel it. Even if we smile on the outside and even if we act all good and everything, there's this sense of falsehood or not being at peace inside. So if I or you or anyone, if we if we don't fight for our lives, if we don't fight to be good and to be above the situation and to be positive, then others will do the same. We are all interconnected. We are all linked. So if we wanna see the positivity outside, we have to start in ourselves. And one of the really important things to me on how to be at peace is to be present. And we have it so hard the difficulty of being present in the lives we made is generally extremely hard. Because we tend to live on I don't know how you say it in English, like a treadmill. We're constantly running, we're rushing, we're trying to achieve something. We're in a hurry all the time. And we always, I mean, as we live, we tend to think about a mistake we made a week ago. Okay, maybe that's a bit much, but you get the idea. And in our minds, we generally live a lot in the past or in the future. but rarely in the present. Which is, to me, it's really like, to me, it's actually like mind blowing how much we are not present. And it's like being present is like more ways of perceiving being present. One way is like to be like present in this existence, like realize that we are existing. And another way to perceive it is to be present in situations. And it's like, it's kind of linked to each other. For example, if I'm driving in a car and I see someone in front of me like not driving properly or doing some mistakes, you know, we tend to beep him, we tend to curse him, we tend to think negative things about the person, even if maybe, and you know, just that by itself is so unrealistic and delusional. And maybe in ourselves, somewhere deep, we know that the person is just anything. Maybe the car stopped working, or maybe the person is going through some really hard things, or maybe maybe he's disabled in some way, or anything, you know. But we still react as if they're not humans. We act as if we weren't in that situation ourselves. And to be present in such a moment is to accept the person driving that way, to realize that maybe he's going through some things, or that maybe something is happening, or that there is no right reason to curse at the person. We lack presence so much. Yet it is the very thing why we exist, to be present, to be alive. And I don't know where I'm going with this thought. I'm just kind of talking from the heart as it comes. Come as you are, as you know, as as a friend, as a friend. We should all just be friends. We should perceive other people as friends, as brothers and sisters, no matter the age, the race, anything. And I know how childish it might seem, how fairy tale-ish, how naive. You might say or think things like, wake up, wake up, this is not the reality, this is just in your mind. And I respectfully disagree. I believe that the positive things that they are true. I don't believe that the people that are trying to be right, that are trying to spread love, that are fighting to be good and to spread that goodness, I don't believe that they're on the wrong track. I really don't believe it. I believe they are doing the right thing, and they are sacrificing pretty much themselves to do it, because the flow of the river, the flow of the pattern of how we live is the opposite. The meta, the default ways of living right now is to not really care about others and just to fight for ourselves and those kind of things. So to live by the heart and the kindness and the good is to go in the opposite direction of the flow of life right now, so to speak. So respect to all those people, to anyone and everyone in any situations that they are trying to live by the heart, live by the good, because they're doing God's work. They're trying to fight for the good and change the ways we live, change the flow of river to good. And it's a bigger sacrifice than it may already seem. With it comes a lot of struggles of all sorts of kind. But if we all participate and sacrifice ourselves to fight against the the ways we live, is to eventually change the flow of river to kindness. And when that happens, the people that will share the love and the good will no longer pretty much have to struggle this much and to fight this much, because it will be the normal, it will be the default to be kind and compassionate. So just be yourself. And someone might say, all right, then I'm gonna go do negative things to people and to the world. But I don't believe that's yourself. I don't believe it. If you tend to do negative things to people, to the world, to yourself, I don't believe that's who you are. I don't believe that's what you desire the most in your heart and in the depths of your being. I believe that the people that are doing these things these negative things, that they're either doing it because they have been traumatized, attacked, offended, and that this trauma made layers above the heart. It just cemented. I believe that if you tend to do negative things and think negative to others, to yourself, and to the world, it's because you have been hurt. And those negative things overshadowed your heart and overtaken your heart, but not in the literal sense. I believe that the heart is still there, it's still pumping, it still wants the love, but it's just been layers and layers above the heart, and what you see on the surface is just the negativity, the toxicity, the hatred. So, when I say be yourself, is try to engage with your heart. Try to engage with your innermost being. Try to do the right thing, even if others might think others something else. And if you do that, as I sort of said earlier, you will get attacked. You will be hated on. There will be fingers pointing at you. But you will know that you're doing the right thing. And that matters the most. It really does. Even if you have to be all alone, you are the most important thing of you. You have to be thankful that you did the right thing. No matter if they say thank you or not, or hate you or not. And we all know these things. But because we don't say them for various reasons, we don't see it. And we live and act by what we see. If we see hatred and toxicity, we act like it. So, if you try to spread love, it will, I guarantee you, it will eventually come to you in some way. Life will always reward you for the good you try to share. Even if no one has to thank you or be with you or love you or anything, the love will come back. I promise you that. I really do. And at this point, a lot of you won't believe me or think I'm just faking it, or that I'm just stupid or naive or anything, that the world and reality doesn't work like that. That it's cruel and all those things. but I respectfully disagree. I don't believe it. Even if I may have some doubts about these things and some fears, I believe deep in my heart that is the truth. I believe it. I believe that even if the whole world would go against me, that I would be thankful that the love that I would share would eventually come back, multiplied. I do really believe it. And I don't know how to express it in a different way. It's just we tend to think we understand this life and this existence from the science we've discovered and everything. And don't get me wrong, science got us here, but it also got us here. We achieved all the amazing things to our ancestors, unbelievable things, but it also made us too, like, blindfolded, or like too tunnel vision, or like only seeing the, the this, and not like opening to this everything. So I don't disrespect science. I just feel that how we perceive existence and everything, that it got very affected by science, that we started to be very used to only the material things and the things we can see, which is sort of ironic because like we don't see the internet, but we know it exists. It's sort of unscientific way of seeing the world. There's a lot of there's, sorry, Mike. Also, if if you hear any disturbances like sounds of barking and or my cat, I'm sorry for that. But yeah, uh, where was I? The science thing. It's not really a scientific way of looking at life, and life is full of paradoxes, dualities, and so on. So even if science got us this far, we should not forget that it's not everything. Like the things we discovered and learned, I think we can all feel that it's not even 1% of the truth or of knowing it all. And I don't think we are here in this existence to know it all, to understand it, but to feel it, to live it, to be present. So let's be present. Let's have a compassion for other people. Let's take it lightly on ourselves when we make mistakes. And sometimes even those mistakes aren't really mistakes at all. Let's just be kind. Let's be compassionate. Let's be present. Let's take our time in our daily lives to be present. Even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, it can be even a minute. But as we do, as we practice this and live by it, the world will change to it. We have the freedom to change ourselves, and with that, indirectly to change the world, we just have to fight. And to fight and to sort of die in the fight, sometimes even literally, is to be alive, is to be fulfilled and to feel alive and happy. And it's the right path. I don't believe that we want to live by being dead inside. I don't believe we want to feel hopeless and to believe that we are nothing and that we are meaningless and all these things. We are much, much, much more than that. And you know it. You know it here. I know you do. I don't know what to say at this point, else than be kind, be compassionate, try your best. Everyone has their limits, everyone has different circumstances and everything. For someone, it might mean just being less angry at work or something, but it's worth the fight. It really is. It really is. So I just realized my whole actual point or message I want to tell you is be human. Be humanful. Be the adults. Live like the adults that we try to be or pretend to be. Have the compassion. Have the courage. Have the love to love yourself, to accept yourself. Start with yourself. Have patience. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. It doesn't how no matter how bad it might be. Really. But as you fight to be humanful to yourself and to others and to the whole existence, then the whole existence will adjust to it. I know it will. I know it will. Even if all the wars, even if all the negativity outside, all the killing, all the everything, it will happen. It will change the world. As we change ourselves, we change the world around us. All the cliches, all the quotes from all the people, they're not just cliches for no reason. Even if we have all the science and all the logical and intellectual thinking of life and everything, we put too much attention on the scientific and intellectual and forget the heart. We forget the feelings. We forget the existence itself, the present, the being present. Not being present also isn't really scientific. So, yeah. Science is good, but don't forget the love. Don't forget the heart, because that's what really matters. We all know how we should live, how we should act, how we should talk, how we should feel. So let's choose it. Let's fight for it. Let's have the courage. Let's support each other to live like that. And eventually, all will be well. Together, we can do it. Together, we can change the patterns of how we live into being positive, into being full of love, full of compassion, full of teamwork. I mean, look where teamwork got us as a species. All the science and everything that we achieved, all the good things we achieved through teamwork. And trust. I would like to say so many things about this concept. There's so much to it, and we all somehow instinctively know these things. We just gotta say them out. Pour the love from the heart to the surface, so we can see it on the surface, so we don't forget that it's in our hearts. Christmas is coming, and if you truly want to give the people you care for a gift that they will appreciate, give them love. Give them a smile. Give them something that you care for. Doesn't have to be material or not. I mean, I was now specifically talking about material, like some small thing that is, meaningful to you. And you can tell the person that it's meaningful to you and that it means this and that you care about the person. And generally speaking, if you want to give someone something that they would appreciate, give them love. Give them love, and I know that you know what it means for you. For someone, it might mean giving them something material that is meaningful to you. For someone, it might mean sending them a meaningful message, a message about the person, of how the person has afflicted you, I mean, in a good way, and so on. So, if you want to make people feel good on this Christmas and generally in life, then just be your actual self that is full of love, full of compassion, full of being a human being, an actual human being. What does that mean to me? Being a human being is to embrace the inner child. Because we are all children, no matter the age. We just pretend to be adults and act like adults so that others might see us as adults, and that's not being adult. We all want to laugh. We all want to experience nice things with other people. The nicest and the best things we experience in life is with other people. So why hurt them? Why be negative? I mean, we know the reasons why we are negative, but we know that we don't want to be like that. We know that we want love. We know that we want to share fun, laugh, sing, dance. We want to enjoy each other's presence. And that's to me being a child. And that's to me being a human being. So let's be human together, and eventually all will be well. Eventually everything will align to being a human. Loving nature, loving people, loving ourselves, our hearts, loving existence, the universe, and loving love. Thank you for your attention. I apologize for the the parts of the video that didn't make very sense or that were not the best when it comes to speaking or explaining. I'm just trying my best. I just want to share love. So thank you. Thank you for understanding, for the compassion. I wish you a human full Christmas. I wish you all the best in life that can meet you to meet you. I wish you all the love, all the wealth in material and non-material, good health, mental, physical, spiritual, and that your inner wishes be fulfilled. Thank you. Have a have a nice day or night. I wish you that you awaken your heart to yourself and to others, so that you may be present in this existence full of love no matter what happens. Goodbye.